Head coach Darren DeVries and Indiana basketball are trending up for another five-star recruit in the class of 2026. But will Anthony Thompson choose the Hoosiers?
You are Locked On Hoosiers, your daily podcast on the Indiana Hoosiers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome, and it is the Locked On Hoosiers podcast. I'm your man, Jacob Goins. I appreciate you being here, making this your first listen or your first watch every single day. We are part of the Locked On Podcast Network, which is your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. Well, thank you so much for being here, making this, again, your go-to spot for all things Indiana athletics. And today, we're talking about Anthony Thompson. He's a five-star recruit in the class of 2026. He's a top 10 recruit in the class of 2026. And he released his top 7 yesterday. Joe Tipton tweeted it out. A really cool graphic from Tipton of Rivals. And Anthony Thompson, the five-star top 10 player, has his top 7, and the Indiana Hoosiers are a part of it. Anthony Thompson is the small forward out of Ohio. He's 6'7", 185 pounds, someone who is in everywhere you look, he's a five-star, okay? There's no consensus five-star or borderline. No, this dude is an absolute stud. Again, he's ranked number 9 in the class of 2026, according to 247. He is a bona fide five-star, and he's got the Indiana Hoosiers in his top 7. And the top 7 goes as this. No particular order, just what the graphic says, okay? Michigan, Kentucky, Purdue, Indiana, Texas, Ohio State, and North Carolina. I'll say those again. Michigan, Kentucky, Indiana, Purdue, Texas, Ohio State, and North Carolina. That's the top 7 for Anthony Thompson, who, again, 6'7", 185 pounds, from Hudson, Ohio. He's played with the Indiana elite team his entire career, his entire high school life. And somebody who, man, he's just an explosion of a player. What I mean by that is he just has the tendency to go off. He goes off for 25, 30, 35 points a game and makes it kind of look effortless because he really is a true forward. He's listed as a small forward. I would classify him probably more as a power forward here. Just somebody who plays to his size, can handle the basketball, can also shoot the basketball, which is nice, and plays really, really good defense. When you turn on the film of Anthony Thompson, and this is somebody we've talked about, but it's somebody who Indiana has been after for quite some time. We're talking about since Mike Woodson was at IU, we were talking about Anthony Thompson way back when. And so this has been a long recruitment of a really, really good player. But you turn on the film, and the things that stick out to me are the facts that he runs the floor extremely well. We've talked a lot about that. That seems to be a trend, right? It seems to be a trend with guys at Indiana, especially Darren DeVries is going after, are guys that just get up and down the floor, absolutely get after it. Anthony Thompson does that really, really well. And again, at 6'7", 185, you want him to be that presence on both ends, right? You want him to get down the floor offensively. He scores a bunch of his buckets in transition, whether it's layups or dunks or even kicking out for a 3 if he's the trail man. You also want him getting back on defense, right, in transition too, and he gets a lot of his blocks that way also. And so he gets up and down the floor. He can shoot it. He's got a slower, kind of a mid release, like a middle of the chest type of release. Looks a little bit like the Kevin Durant shot, but not as pretty, if I'm just being honest with you. It's a little slower, but it looks pretty solid. And so he's a lefty, by the way, shoots a left-handed. So you always got to respect the lefty stroke. And so yeah, it's got a good shot. Okay, he can also handle the basketball really well, which is impressive for a guy his size. And so that always sticks out. That's always something coaches are looking for. You may have size, but can you handle the basketball? And that's not just in the painted area. he can handle the basketball up top too and kind of create his own offense, create his own shot. He's not afraid to pull up in the mid-range as well, especially in that semicircle or even the volleyball line, kind of the side areas there as well. And so I really like his game. I do. And I really do think that he would fit the Indiana system extremely well. And so this is somebody, again, a 5-star that Indiana has been after for quite some time, and he puts the Hoosiers inside of his top 7. Now, you're dealing with really, really good basketball programs. You're going up against some of the best of the best. We'll talk about that in a second. But my goodness, I mean, you talk about landing somebody that would make your class. Anthony Thompson is it. He's it. I mean, 5-star player, top 10 in the class. This would be the one that would send shockwaves through the recruiting world if you're able to pull this off. And I think the Hoosiers can. I really, really do. And so, again, Anthony Thompson from Hudson, Ohio, plays a Western Reserve Academy over there. He's a 5-star. He has put Indiana in his top 7. I want to talk more about the schools that we're battling, the schools that Indiana has to beat. We'll talk about that and how they can do it right after this here on Locked On Hoosiers. Today's episode of Locked On Hoosiers is brought to you by FanDuel. Summer sports are in full swing, and whether you're all about baseball, under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make every game even more exciting. You're already following the action, so why not make it a little bit more thrilling, right? With FanDuel, you can get in on the game while your friends are out getting sunburned at the beach, all right? I use FanDuel almost every day. Baseball right now, Nerfies have just a stranglehold on me, the no-run first inning. I love it. It's so much fun. It's quick. It's exciting. You can pair them together. You can do one at a time. It doesn't matter. You can use FanDuel any way you'd like to, especially in the baseball world. Okay, if you're new to FanDuel, now's the time to sign up because new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com right now to get started. All right, we continue on here on Locked On Hoosiers today and talking all things Anthony Thompson. He is a top 10 player, class of 2026. And you know, I've seen some folks also in the recruiting world that have talked about the class of 2026 as a whole as being historically weak, historically bad. And I kind of get it in terms of top to bottom, but when you're talking top 10 players in a class, there's nothing weak about that. I mean, these kids are really, really good. And some of the guys we've talked about, the Jordan Smiths of the world, Talon Kinney's, right? Those guys are legitimate. Now, you start talking the 150s and things like that, I guess, whatever. But, I mean, Prince Alexander Moody's like 125, and I think that kid is extremely talented. He's your lone verbal commit in the class of 2026 right now. And so I think he's really good. And I still can't figure out why he dropped in the rankings, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm willing to buy in on the idea that it is an historically weak class. But regardless, Anthony Thompson is not. Anthony Thompson is extremely talented, really, really good player. And again, he has officially put Indiana in his top 7 with Michigan, Kentucky, Purdue, Texas, Ohio State, and North Carolina. Now, of course, you're battling the in-state school of Purdue. You're battling the home state school of Ohio State because he's from Ohio. You're also battling the team in up north, Michigan, right? You're also battling with Mark Pope at Kentucky. You've got North Carolina, of course, and now Archie Miller down in Texas. I mean, you're talking about some legitimate coaches here. Talking Dusty May in Michigan, right? I mean, you're going up against some really good coaches, couple of seasoned guys, right? We've got Purdue, right? In him. I mean, you're talking about a seasoned guy there, but you're also talking about some new faces. Darren DeVries at Indiana, Dusty May at Michigan, Mark Pope at Kentucky, Ohio State as well. I mean, Hubert over there in North Carolina. I mean, you're talking about younger guys and Archie at Texas. I mean, you're talking about newer faces at their programs. And so who wins out here? I don't know. I mean, Indiana, like we've talked about in terms of recruiting, you're still selling a dream. You're selling a future, right? Which is tough to do. Dusty May in Michigan, they've got proof. You've got a little proof of Mark Pope at Kentucky, but enough proof, I think. Purdue, Plenty of proof there. North Carolina, historically proof, but still trying to figure out what the heck they want to do. Texas, they're selling a future, and Ohio State is definitely selling a future. But they've got the stay home mentality, right? Just come here, stay home, be a legend at Ohio State, and be a Buckeye. And maybe he will, and maybe he won't. And so, look, can Indiana win this recruiting battle? Absolutely. And I think the Hoosiers are trending in the right direction here. I really, really firmly believe that. And I think the fact that Indiana has wanted him for so long, talking Anthony Thompson here, I think the fact that IU has wanted him for so long will help you in this recruitment. The fact that the previous regime wanted you to come here and now the new regime wants you to come here as well. And so no official visit as of yet, but there is a growing sense that that will happen, that he will take an official visit here. And you feel right that once he's able to do that, then you feel pretty good about your chances. If he comes and takes a visit, we've seen a ton of guys do that, and they've all really liked their time here. And so I'm trying to get the official visit scheduled for Anthony Thompson. And I just want to address something too before we wrap up on a shorter episode today. So many fans right now, especially us with Indiana, we're getting all bent out of shape about somebody that puts Indiana in their top 7. Oh, well, I mean, he hasn't even taken a visit. I don't care. Wow, there's top 7. There's 6 other schools there. I don't care. Well, that's not a commitment, so I don't care. Well, that's not a signing, so I don't care. Come on, guys. Come on, right? Let's not be so miserable and so just not appreciative of what is happening here. The idea that a top 10 player in the class of 2026 is considering your school, considering IU, considering being an Indiana Hoosier. I don't understand why that's not good enough. I understand it's not a commitment. I totally understand that. And I understand that commitments don't mean as much as they used to because of all the things going on right now. I totally understand. But to just act like that this is not a big deal is dumb, in my opinion, because this is a big deal. The fact that Indiana is in with all of these kids. How many times have we talked about the top 50 players in the class that Indiana has reached out to, gone to watch play, gotten on visits, trying to schedule visits? Like, folks, that's progress. And that's a big deal. And you should be excited about that. And if you're not, then I don't know what to tell you. Then you're never going to be happy about it. You're never going to be pleased. You're never going to be satisfied with Indiana or with college athletics. And you're in for a rude awakening because this is the world that we're in. I will never understand people being upset and not excited about something like this with a top 10 player, including Indiana in his top 7. Does that mean he's going to be a Hoosier? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't mean that at all. But it means you're there. It means you're in it. And the fact that this team with this coach and this staff and this roster has yet to play a single minute of legitimate basketball, and you're still making progress with top 10 players, says that you're doing something right. And I'm going to be excited about it. And I'm going to talk about it. And if you don't want to get excited about it, that's up to you. But I choose to appreciate this type of stuff. And I choose to enjoy talking about this type of stuff. And I do feel that there are people that still care about it because this is recruiting and this is the world that we live. And I think it's a really big deal that Anthony Thompson, a 5-star top 10 player, has Indiana in his top 7 alongside Michigan, Kentucky, Purdue, Texas, Ohio State, and North Carolina. All right, that's going to do it for today's episode of Locked On Hoosiers. Again, appreciate you being here all week long as we get towards the end of July into August as well. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you support the show any way you can on audio. Turn those notifications on. YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button. You leave a comment down below as well, and you like this video on your way out, okay? We are back not tomorrow. We're back on Monday, Hoosier fans. All right, so we're back on Monday. So until then, stay safe, and I'll talk to you later.